Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss this statistics question that was part of the daily challenge on my WhatsApp and Facebook groups. And as usual, we will start from the wrong approach to solve this question and go on to figure out what is the right approach to solve this question. If you like this video and find it helpful, please do not forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments or doubts, please feel free to put them in the comments box. So let's get started with the wrong approach. There is not a whole lot people do wrong in this question. Where they actually trip up is reasoning in the question or trying to figure out if choice 1 contradicts choice 2, which is not really necessary. However, when we look at the right approach, I will talk about that. One of the most common mistakes that people make in solving this problem, which is an avoidable mistake, is assuming that all the numbers are going to be integers and C is going to be an integer as a result. It is not given that C is an integer. It is not given that series S is a series of integers, even though all the other numbers are integers. So that gives an illusion that all the numbers will be integers and hence C will be an integer, but that is just an illusion. C could be any number. It could be integer, non-integer, surds, exponents, terminating decimal, anything. And that is what you must understand in solving any of these questions. Unless it is clearly given that series S is a series of integers, any variable in the series could take on any value, and that assuming C to be an integer mistake impacts how you look at choice number 2. How you look at statement number 2. Let's look at statement number 2 and see how the reasoning can steer you wrong if you assume C to be an integer. So in statement number 2, we know that our numbers we are given that there are 7 numbers in the series, which means the median has to be 7 plus 1 divided by 2, which is the 4th number in the series. We don't know where the C lies. However, we are given also that the C is the median of S, which means C lies between 10 and 11. Since we are making this assumption that C has to be an integer, number 1, and also that C is the median, that means C is somewhere here. And that basically blows our mind away, because statement 1 says 10 is the median of S and statement 2 says C is the median of S. So they sound conflicting. We are assuming integers. So we do two things. We can say that C equal to 11, right? Because there is repetition possible in series, and assume 11 to be the median, in which case is C is greater than 10 gives yes to the asked question. Or we can assume C as 10, in which case also the median is 10, in which case it goes no to the asked question. However, because if we take C equal to 11, it conflicts with number 1. We somehow have this thought process that the conflicts are not allowed in GMAT, so we shouldn't be using 11. Even though reasoning wise 11 is the right way to approach the question, we choose 10 as the possibility. Repetition is allowed. Again, remember, we have forgotten and we have not considered that C could be a non-integer, and we say, okay, we get 10 as the answer. 10 is not greater than 10. We get a consistent no to the asked question and mark C as sufficient. However, we forget that there are a couple of big red lights that we should have noticed. First of all, if we are getting some obvious conflicts between choice 1 and 2, we should relook at our approach and our assumptions, not just make an assumption based on, hey, 11 cannot be the median because 10 is given to be the median in the first one. So I'm just going to assume 10. That's not a good reasoning. It is a thumb rule that GMAT problems usually do not conflict. The two choices in GMAT problems usually do not conflict, but you cannot make that as part of your mathematical reasoning, right? The second thing is, if you don't go back to your assumption that assume C to be an integer, you're going to end up spending too much time on this question, and it doesn't really deserve that much time. So let's look at the right approach to solve this question. Okay, so here's the right approach to solve this question. Let's put the numbers down. Okay, so statement number 1 is given that 10 is the median of S. We know that since series S consists of 7 numbers, the 4th number would be the median. What that means is C is anywhere on the right side of 10, then either C would be the median or 11 would be the median, because C would be here and 11th would be the 4th number in the series, or C will be here and then C would be the 4th number in the series. So the median may or may not be 10. So to make the median 10, either C has to be equal to 10, so that is one possibility, or C has to be less than 10 so that the 10 in the series becomes the median, right? So C could be here, 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 based on what is given in the statement number 1. So what that gives us is C has to be less than or equal to 10. When C is less than or equal to 10, if I ask you the question, is C greater than 10? The answer would be no. It is either less than or equal to 10, but it is never greater than 10. So this is sufficient to answer the question. Statement number 2, it's given that C is the median of S. So in statement number 2, this is not a possibility, right? This is also not a possibility because C is the median. So C has to be somewhere between 10 and 11, right? And now we talk about the wrong approach. If you think of C as only integers, you will be in a bind. But however, look at C as possible non-integers. So it could be 10.5, for example, and that is perfectly okay. It could also be 10, right? In which case we have two 10s in the series, which is absolutely fine because it is not given that all the numbers in the series are unique. The possible values of C in this case are actually greater than or equal to 10. So sometimes C is equal to 10, other times it is greater than 10. It doesn't really conflict with choice number 1 because at C equal to 10, they actually come together. And for C equal to 10, we get the answer to the asked question, is C greater than 10, as no, C is equal to 10. And for C greater than 10, we get the answer as yes. Yes, C is greater than 10. So sometimes we are getting a no, sometimes we are getting a yes, which means we are not getting a unique answer, a unique yes or no to the asked question. Hence, statement number 2 is insufficient to answer this question. So the answer to this question is A. I hope you understand this approach and I hope you understand the mistake people make. Thank you very much. Have a great day.